Hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome back to Real Crypto. Alright, so today we're going to do our Bitcoin analysis, and I'm still going to talk about 2013, guys. Sorry about that, but I just want to keep you informed on things as they develop and kind of as I see them. So if you're not familiar with my 2013 scenario, this is what happened in 2013. Bitcoin went in a long low, actually went low for 2.5 years, but we're not there yet. Right now we're up here, so we're still in highs. We can turn around, but I just want to show you what I'm looking at. Okay, so let's go back to 2013. And if you haven't seen this, look for I have like three videos on this. It's kind of getting old, and I'm sorry if you're going through this, but in a little bit we'll get to current market and the bullish case for Bitcoin as well. So we're going to do a bull case, and we're going to do a bear case, because we're in a choppy market. It can go either direction. All right, so this is a weekly chart of Bitcoin. When have you ever looked at a weekly chart? I probably guarantee most of you probably have not even ever pulled a weekly chart for more than 3 seconds. So, well, one thing you notice with Bitcoin with 2013 is when I was charting this earlier, I noticed that Bitcoin was stair-stepping higher, and it was negating level after level after level. And then once it tried a previous level here, it really started its downtrend. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of that in Bitcoin right here. We've already been topping for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks now, and we have 2 lows. So if we can get a close to the upside, that may actually completely, if we can get a close up here, maybe it completely negates this pattern. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm noticing that on the weekly, and volume declining here just in the same way. You know, volume was declining right here, and then we got a big volume pop on this larger sell-off for the next leg to drop. So that hasn't happened yet. Maybe it won't happen, but you know, so far 2013 and 2017 are rhyming pretty good. In my prior video, I mentioned things don't always mirror each other, but sometimes they sure do rhyme. And Bitcoin looks like it's rhyming right now. So let's take a look at the daily chart, and we'll look at the daily chart in 2013. And it's just going to put us in the middle of nowhere. Where are we? 2017. All right, let's get over to 2013 again. Sorry about that, folks. Sometimes when you hit buttons on charts, they kind of do what they want to do. All right, so on the daily here, the big thing to notice in my mind, long story short, is this: after this big bottom volume, this very low volume area in Bitcoin, this very low volume area here, most of the bars are actually under this average volume, and the average volume is getting really low. So volume and interest is really drying up in Bitcoin the further you get up until this large downside candle, and you can just see a lot of weakness. You can see a lot of lower highs, just a series of lower highs here. Not the exact same market, but just general weakness, right? So what we're looking at today isn't quite exactly the same, but we do have the same low volume. We have the average volume is getting lower, and the daily volume is staying below that average. So our interest is just diminishing here. It's just diminishing. So in 2013, we had a big pop to the downside that really kind of put, I mean, this really stabbed the rally right here, this one bar. Let's take a look at that. So we have all this volume which didn't show up to support Bitcoin. I mean, it should have been supportive. This is not supportive. It's not a big sell-off. It's just not supportive. And then we have this big candle, which really just put the dart, put the knife in the back of Bitcoin, and it never went back above that candle. You can look at that. It didn't cross that for like 2 years. Okay, so we have yet to have that in Bitcoin. But if we get that, then I say really pay attention, because that could be the end of this whole rally. And then we do have the 2013 scenario at hand, and we're pretty close to this happening or to this not happening. So I'm going to call it D-Day for lack of a better term, but D-Day hasn't come yet, and hopefully it never will. Hopefully we get a nice rally. Guys, I don't want Bitcoin to fail. I don't want it to go down. I want to make money. I want this channel to be successful. I want you guys to be successful, and if Bitcoin fails, I have a feeling that half of you guys are going to leave the market. So that's just kind of my general feeling. And that's how the mass psychology of this herd works. But in the meantime, put that in the back of your mind. Let's get to the current market synopsis. All right, so 2-hour chart. Let's dig down to the 2-hour chart. So what's happening right now in Bitcoin? On the bullish side of Bitcoin, we do have a series of higher highs and we do have a series of higher lows, so that is good. In our most recent action, we have a very nice bottoming candle right here. This is actually really, really good volume. We really had no, I mean, this is like no volume. I call it no volume because, you know, you want to see buying flurries, right? You want to see these big green candles come in like these right here. You want to see all these big green candles, and we can float up on low volume, although this is sideways. This is actually very constructive action, unlike what we're having. We're having very choppy action on low volume. But from the bullish perspective, we have a bottoming candle here and a bottoming candle here, putting a nice low area in right here. All right, putting a nice low in right there. And if you want to play Bitcoin to the bullish side, I don't think this is a horrible place to take a position because you have a very natural stop pretty much right here at this level, which is like less than 1%. And then if you want to give it down to the bottom of these candles, only a 2% risk. So that's not a bad risk if you want to play this for a long-term hold or for a trade. So that's kind of the bullish case for Bitcoin right now, is that, you know, the recent action is bullish. We have bottoming action, but the bearish case for Bitcoin has a lot more points in its court right now than the bullish case for Bitcoin. So that's most of the bullish case for Bitcoin. The only other good point to make is that usually, and in 99% of cases, the most recent large volume candle wins, and that would be this huge large volume candle coming all the way down to 10.4 right here. And so we're still above that, and as we're above that and even above this close, because this close here is actually important as well. So these two levels, as long as we're above these levels, we have a chance for bull. On the very immediate term, we have a potential bounce from this area, or maybe we drop down and we get down to this rising channel bottom here. We have a very good for a potential bounce into 16.5. All right, very good potential bounce into 16.5. But if we cannot get above these highs right here, then it's not looking good for Bitcoin. And even right now, I'm not super happy with this action. I just got to be honest with you. The increasing volume right here, I'm trying to give you guys a bullish case, but even in this I find bearish action. It's just what the chart's telling me, guys. This isn't my opinion. This isn't what I think, is what I'm reading. This is like reading a book to me. And what I'm reading right now is that, you know, low volume at the top, high volume at the bottom. So decent voluming action. If we go down to the 5 minute, it's pretty decent bottoming action. Pretty decent bottoming action. Here we go. Okay. Pretty decent bottoming action. We have a little rising trend line right here. This needs to, you know, this needs to hold. This needs to hold here if we're going to be successful in this rally. And kind of another bearish sign. This particular candle is a topping candle on high volume. But, you know, we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens here. There's a lot of points in the bear court, a couple of points in the bull court. If you're going to play Bitcoin, you play it for a bounce, or you keep your stops tight. And here we go, one day. Sorry, lost my train of thought for half a second there. But going back to the overall scenario, the overall picture in Bitcoin, if we get that one big sweeping down candle and volume dwarfs all of this, sorry to say, guys, the rally's really, I mean, the rally's over. I think we are going to put in a big top in Bitcoin for quite some time. There's a possibility we get down here towards this 11.5 level, somewhere around here. Maybe we get a big bottoming bounce there. Fully possible. But, you know, these markets are rhyming pretty good. We had a nice big bounce right here. Look at this big bottoming candle. Let's take a look at 2013 for a moment. Like, if we're here in this scenario, what happens here? Well, what happens here is you have a series of bottoms being bought. That's a good bottom buy. That's a good bottom buy. And these are some pretty good swings, ladies and gentlemen. Like, if you were to buy this swing here, that's 20%. If you were to buy this swing low here, that's 30%. If you want to play these, for bounces, to be honest with you, I mean, you may get some really good trades. You can get some 15+% trades out of these, no problem. But then the real, so if we get this D-Day candle, a lot of pain, guys, a lot of pain in the markets. I don't know what alts are going to do. I actually have two scenarios if we go down. I have one scenario in mind where some certain extraordinarily strong altcoins stay afloat. They go down the least if they go down. And then the next scenario is that everything just goes into a prolonged downtrend, except for a few very fundamental cases. A few very fundamental cases will stay afloat. But if we get this bounce, just look. I mean, this is general weakness. Lower highs. Lower highs is general weakness, which is what you see here. So, you know, let's maybe look for this if this happens. I can't say, you know, if this happens tomorrow, I actually have to go work at a job site tomorrow. So if this crashes tomorrow, I'm not saying it's going to, but if it does, I'm not going to have a video for you guys. So I want to put this out there for you now. Okay, in this area, when we start to go down, you know, you're going to see a lot of people trying to buy these bottoms. A lot of people trying to buy these bottoms, okay? And that's what you see here, big downside wicks, but also big upside wicks at the same time. So you're seeing a confused market right here, all the wicks. And then what you see is a huge bounce play right here, and then it fails, and there's no more confusion. And then it comes up and tries to retest a prior high, and then it just continues failing, okay? And then at this point, everyone's despondent. No one wants to buy. All right. And then you have a little bit of capitulation down here, down towards this 160 level. And I don't know if is that your all-time low in Bitcoin? Yeah, it looks like it is in that rally. So in this particular downtrend, that is your ultimate low with this massive volume candle. Anyway, guys, my videos just take me in this direction. I'm just reading the charts. I don't have an agenda. If you think I do, sorry, I don't want you to lose money, but you may if this scenario plays out. I'm not doing this to FUD you guys. I'm doing this to prepare you guys. But hopefully I'm wrong. This video is a bunch of BS, and we get a huge green candle here, big volume. It stays up. We have to form a tight area. We blow past this channel into all-time highs. Everything's good, and we go into 500,000 with no corrections like most Americans want. All right, guys, there you go. There's the video. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your patronage to the channel. Over 17,000 subscribers for Real Crypto. My mind is literally blown. I don't even know what to do with this responsibility. All right, guys, thanks for joining me. I will see you in the next one.